Do you ever wonder why suffering exists and how we can overcome it? That's a question that has puzzled humanity for ages. Suffering, in its many forms, seems to be a universal experience. But why is it universal? And more importantly, how can we overcome it? That's what we're going to explore in this video. You see, suffering can be paradoxical. On one hand, it's a challenge that can feel insurmountable. It can bring us to our knees, make us question our worth, and even our very existence. But on the other hand, suffering is also a catalyst for growth. It's through these tough times that we truly discover ourselves, our resilience, our courage, and our capacity for change. So in a way, suffering can be both a hurdle and a stepping stone. So let's dive into understanding suffering and how to best navigate through it. The first step to overcoming suffering is understanding the power of perspective. Perspective, you see, is like a lens through which we view the world. It's the frame we use to interpret our experiences, our joys, our sorrows, our victories, and our defeats. And just like a camera lens, the perspective we choose can dramatically alter the picture we see. When we find ourselves in the throes of suffering, it's often because our perspective is focused on the pain, the hardship, the injustice. We are zoomed in, so to speak, on the negative. But what if we could adjust that lens? What if we could step back and see the broader picture, the whole scene? By stepping back, we can start to distinguish between reality and our perception of reality. We can see that our suffering, as real and as painful as it may be, is not the entirety of our existence. It's a part, yes, but only a part of the larger, more complex tapestry of our lives. And this distinction is crucial, because when we can separate our suffering from ourselves, we can begin to see that we are not defined by our pain. We are more than our suffering. We are individuals with inherent value, with worth that extends beyond our current circumstances. This realization can be a powerful tool in alleviating our suffering. It allows us to understand that our worth is not contingent on our circumstances, that we are valuable simply because we exist. And it helps us to see that even in the most desperate situations, we are not devoid of value. So when suffering seems to consume your world, remember to adjust your lens. Step back, see the broader picture, recognize your inherent value. Because when we change our perspective, we change our experience, we change our suffering. Remember, even in our darkest moments, we are not devoid of value. Sometimes healing comes from embracing our grief and regret. As counterintuitive as it may seem, these emotions, often regarded as negative, can serve as powerful tools in our journey to overcome suffering. Consider grief. It's a natural response to loss, a raw and sometimes overwhelming emotion that can leave us feeling unanchored. Yet it is through acknowledging this grief, rather than pushing it aside, that we find a path to understanding and acceptance. Grief, in its purest form, is an expression of love. It's a testament to the depth of our attachment and the significance of our loss. It's a reminder that we have loved, and even in loss, there's a beauty in having had something worth grieving for. Then there's regret. It's a feeling that stems from our actions or decisions that we wish we could change. It's a whisper from the past, a reminder of what could have been. While it's often associated with a sense of guilt or disappointment, regret, when harnessed correctly, can be a catalyst for change. It can prompt introspection, foster self-improvement, and steer us towards a path of growth. It's a signal from our conscience, urging us to learn and grow from our past mistakes. In embracing these emotions, we allow ourselves to reconcile with our misfortunes. We give voice to our deepest feelings and acknowledge the impact of our experiences. This openness paves the way for healing, allowing us to process our emotions and gradually move towards acceptance. So when you feel the sting of grief or the pang of regret, don't shy away. Welcome them, sit with them, learn from them. They are not signs of weakness, but indicators of your growth, resilience, and capacity for profound love and understanding. Remember, it's through these emotions that we gain the ability to empathize, to grow, and to ultimately find peace. So let's not see them as burdens, but as companions on our journey through life. Embrace your feelings, for they are the keys to overcoming suffering. Spirituality can serve as a beacon of hope during our most challenging times. This isn't just a comforting thought, but a reality for many individuals navigating the terrain of personal suffering. Spirituality, in its essence, is about a connection to something greater than ourselves. It's a journey within, to the core of our being, to discover our true nature and the universal truths that bind us all. When we tap into our spiritual selves, we can find solace and strength. We learn to see our suffering not as a relentless tormentor, but as a teacher, guiding us towards growth and understanding. It's in these moments of deep introspection that we often stumble upon our inner wealth, a reservoir of resilience, wisdom, and peace that lies within each one of us. Spiritual growth then becomes our shield and our sword in the face of adversity. It equips us with the strength to endure, the wisdom to understand, and the courage to overcome. It helps us maintain our sensitivity, our capacity for love and compassion, even when the world around us seems devoid of it. It's important to remember that spirituality is not a quick fix or an escape route from our suffering. It's a path, a journey that we undertake, a choice we make to seek meaning and purpose beyond our immediate circumstances. It's about finding light within the darkness, hope within despair, and peace within turmoil. Through spirituality, we can find an inner wealth that transcends our suffering. Overcoming suffering is a journey, but it's one that can lead to profound growth and understanding. By adjusting our perspective, embracing regret and grief as tools for healing, and seeking spiritual growth, we empower ourselves to rise above. It's not about avoiding pain, but learning, transforming, and growing through it. Thank you for watching. Remember, out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights and guidance. Keep growing, keep evolving,